Okay, so let's read question number 2. It says there, yeah, there's a lot of wording there. So, but the most important part is the dn dt minus k over n, and minus kn, alright? And if you read further, it suddenly says, initially. What does initially means? Okay, let's read a bit further. 80 gram there. 80 is equals to what? What equals to 80? N, because you can read there, n gram, right? You can read the first line, n gram, so there is 80 grams, so that means n equals to 80. But the word, the earlier of the sentence, it says that initially. Initially, I can also say, I can translate to something. Initially is normally refers to time, at the beginning of the time. So what's the value of time? Time equals to 0. So at this sentence, it means when t equals to 0, n equals to 80. Understand? Right, we read further. After 100 years, it decayed to 20 gram. 100, this one refers to what? Time. So t equals to 100. The 20? N. So n equals to 20. Okay? Understand? Right, we can read number 2a. It's written there, express n in terms of t, the elapsed time. So that means you want n equals to something lah. N equals to whatever t. That's our normal particular solution, or general solution. Okay, 20b says there, continue. Calculate the amount of substance remain after 120 years. What can you say? 120 years is what? Time. So t equals to 120. Calculate the amount of substance. So they want us to find what? N. So n equals to question marks when t equals to 120. Understand? So how are you going to solve this question? You start with the differential equation, the first order, dn dt. Alright, so that means you need to separate it out and then substitute this value in for you to find the answers. Okay? So let's try number 5b. You can read the whole thing. Pt represent the size of a population at any given time. So we can say that t is for time. Normally t is for time. And you read further down the last line. Determine the size of population after 10 years. What can you say? Time equals to 10. Then determine the size of population. P equals to question marks, because that is what we are trying to find. Understand? So now let's have a look on other examples. Question number 9. Let's have a look. According to Newton's law, science, blah, 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 and so on. And there's one line I think is quite important. The surrounding temperature M. Okay, never mind, let's go on ahead. Where T and the big T, capital T, small t is temperature of the object at time T. So we can say the capital T is the temperature. The small t is for time. K is constant. Right, so try read question number 9b. Bowl of soup is removed from an oven with temperature at 60 degrees. 60 degrees is what? Capital T, small t. So it's big T. Someone prefer that. So big T is 60, capital T. A bowl of soup is removed from an oven. What can you say? A bowl of soup is removed with temperature at 60. There's one more information there. The moment we take it out from an oven, the temperature of the soup is 60. So the moment you take it out, time equals to 0. So there was a hidden time. So when t equals to 0, capital T is 60. Understand? Now let's try read further. What is the temperature after 5 minutes? This 5 minutes is what? Small t is 5. K is 0.04 is given there. Assuming that the surrounding temperature is 26.9. 26.9 is belong to what? M. Why is it M? The surrounding temperature is what we have read in the first, before the equation just now, okay? The surrounding temperature M. So what are we trying to find with this second sentence? 6b, 9b, what are we trying to find? What is the temperature? You want to find? Capital T. Capital T, question marks. You guys okay? It's not so difficult. Okay, alright, now question number 14. Let's have a look. Question number 14. If you read further, you can see here. Maybe it's can be shaky. One moment. I hope my video is not too shaky. Where K is a positive constant, if the initial amount of the substance is 100 milligram. 100 milligram, this one is for what? Q. So Q is equals to 100. Initial amount, initial. Time equals to 0, so small t equals to 0. Understand? So when t equals to 0, Q equals to 100. Okay? Decrease to 97 milligram in 6 days. Time is 6. Q is 97. Very good. Determine the half-life of the substance. This is physics, you should know it. Half-life of the substance. So what are we trying to find? Are we trying to find Q or are we trying to find T? Half-life is normally T. T equals to question marks. What about the Q? It's not given, it's not written. But you should know this from your physics or your chemistry. We want to find T right now. So can we find the value of Q? Half-life, so that means you start Q with 100. Half-life, he means what? It left with 50. Q is 50. And I can hear someone screaming, why is physics or chemistry doing in mathematics? Stay out from my numbers. I can hear someone's laughing, agreeing with me. Okay, next line, 14A2. Amount of radioactive substance present after 30 days. 30 is what? Time T equals to 30. So what are we trying to find with that question? Q. We're trying to find Q. So Q question marks. Understand? Okay, I'm going to borrow your book for a while. Okay, question number 16. If you read it. That's a bit written there. Question number 16. I give you 1 minute for you to figure out first. Alright. Be careful with the decayed by 10%. Alright, be careful with this. From its initial mass. You want to find the how much is left, not the 10%. Viewers, I'll let you try. I'm going to pause the video now. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so the initial mass of the reactive material is 50 milligram. 50 is what? R equals to 50 initial mass. T equals to 0. So when T equals to 0, R equals to 50. Very good. After 2 hours, T equals to 2. Material has decayed by 10%. So R equals to what? 10%? 5, 90. Okay, you need to understand a few things. You start your R with what? 50. Okay, is it logical after you decay suddenly you get 90? 50 become 90. Normally it decays, what does it mean? It's reduced, right? So the amount of 50 is going to be reduced. Reduced by how much? Reduced by 10%. If you reduce by 10%, what's your new R? 45. So R is 45. Understand? Why become 45? Why not 10? Why not 90? So it's alright. It took me some time to understand it as well. Even when I'm an adult, take me some time to understand. Okay, hence find the mass of the material after 4 hours. What can we say? T equals to 4. R is what we're trying to find. R question marks. Determine the time when the material has decayed to half of its initial mass. R equals to 25, half of its initial mass. T question marks. Are you okay? Very good. Now let's have a look on number 23, which I didn't ask you to do, but some of you might have written in the lecture. Okay, I give you 1 minute for you to figure out. Okay, so let's try. Find the general equation, blah blah blah, so on. Don't worry. Find the particular solution. Find the particular solution if the 35 gram. 35 is for what? X. X is 35 because you know you written up there X gram. Okay. And the first 30 minutes. T equals to 30. So X equals to 35 and T equals to 30. I think I kind of missed something. Oh yeah, the second line. Before the reaction starts, no. How do you pronounce that? Huh? NaCl. That's right, you know it's a natrium chloride. Is it natrium? Sodium. Why is it natrium and sodium? Okay, I don't remember my chemistry anymore. Okay. Okay, sodium hydroxide, yeah, sodium chloride. Okay, fine. This is not maths, okay? Before the reaction starts, no sodium chloride has been formed. What can we say about that? When T equals to 0, X equals to 0. So that's, you need to be careful. Okay, 23B, 35 grams, 35 is X, sorry, we have done that, sorry about it. 23C2, C1. X question marks. T equals to 60, very good. C2. T question marks. X equals to 40. Okay, with that, I think you can solve the questions. I know this exercise, you were not told is it separable or is it IF, right? Because that's the most important thing they're going to test you in exams, whether is it IF or is it separable. My advice is check whether it's separable first. If it's not separable, then it means it's IF. Alright? Let's say it's IF. Some question you can solve in IF way, but separable will be a lot easier. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much and good luck trying them.